So this guy messaged me a while ago, like a couple months ago or something, and he wanted to build a great physique. And he's already done a good job, right? He's gotten relatively lean, but he was confused about whether to cut, whether to bulk, whatever. I have like my ways of doing that. I don't really call them cuts and bulks, but I guess that's kind of semantics. But the way that I do it with clients is a little bit different. Anyways, he was confused on when to do each of those, when to do them and how to do them. So I said, okay, I'll give you some dates, okay? Here's, based on what you're looking for, body fat percentage that you're currently on and the goals that you're chasing, you're going to do a cut here, and then you're going to do a quote unquote bulk here. I call them like a physique development cycle, because we're not really bulking. There's a weird connotation with bulking, right? A lot of guys, they don't bulk because they're afraid to get fat, and then guys will avoid cutting because they don't want to get small, they don't want to get skinny. And then they end up just not making any meaningful changes to their physique at all. And so then he had clarity, right? He's like, okay, cool. Now I know for the next X amount of weeks, I'm going to be going after this specific goal, and then I'll pivot into this goal. Very, very similar with what I do with my clients, right? I have this all planned out for my clients, so they have perfect clarity on this. They don't even have to think about it. It's already planned out. What happened was he almost fell into this trap, right? Where a week or two ago, he went away. This is post-diet phase. So he's already done the cut, right? He's already done the fat loss phase. He goes on a bachelor party. He comes back. He's a little soft. He's a little chubby. Body composition's a little weird. And he's like, dude, I think I got fat. Should I go back into a cut? And I said, is that your plan? Like, what was your plan? And he's like, no, I have a cut, like what we discussed. Like, I have a cut planned in the next few weeks or whatever, or the next month or two or whatever it is. I'm like, okay, then just stay the course. Don't just panic and go into a fat loss phase. You were just in one. This is a common trap a lot of guys fall into, right? I get it too. I have this after I travel all the time. I come home, I'm already consistent when I'm traveling. I'm doing I have a good system set up. Same stuff I teach my clients. But there is like temporary changes that happen to your body composition that may not be favorable, but they're temporary. They are acute. They change very, very quickly. Most people panic and they go, oh my goodness, I'm fat. You're not fat. Literally all you need to do, and this is what I told him. I said, just hit your normal macros, hit your normal meals, hit your normal steps, hit your normal workouts. Everything normal, okay? Probably be a lot more food than you're probably actually under eating when you're traveling, or at least under eating protein. So you're going to eat all your normal food, hit your normal steps, hit your normal workouts, wait and see what happens. I bet you in the next 48, 72 hours, you're going to feel great. Then he sent me this message, and he does. Crisis averted. Here's a photo of me, just to give you an example visually of what can happen, okay? So photo on the left is me in the middle of a trip in Florida, I don't know, like a year or two ago, year and a half ago. And I look noticeably softer. Like midsection just doesn't look as tight. Body just looks whatever, right? Relative to like my usual physique, it looks less good. Okay. And then the photo on the right is literally me within 3 to 4 days of being home eating my normal foods. And this is very, very common. The trap here that you want to avoid is making large scale changes to your overall plan based on temporary body composition changes. You won't always feel super lean. You won't always feel super fat. Some days you feel fluffy. Some days you feel small and skinny. Some days you feel jacked. It is what it is. This is why it's so important to have these phases planned out specifically. The importance of this comes up quite a bit, actually. I just got off a call an hour ago with a new client who I'm going to be onboarding on Monday. And he is in a situation that requires some better planning. He just doesn't know how to do it. And he's in this position where he's already lost a bunch of weight on his own. Impressive. Now he's afraid of gaining it back. He doesn't have good system setup. He's good at losing weight. He's not good at keeping it off yet. He doesn't have the confidence around it. It makes sense. He doesn't have a good system to actually give him the confidence to be able to keep it off long term. So he just doesn't know, and he knows he doesn't know. So he's in a position now where he doesn't know whether should I keep cutting or should I be gaining muscle, and can I do both, or what does that look like? So really what this guy needs is he needs clarity around building out these phases. He needs planning, right? He's in this position now where we've kind of built this out for him, and he will have a lot better clarity around what to do. And if he doesn't get this clarity around scheduling out these phases and having his larger goal, parsed out into these smaller goals, into these smaller milestones with dates and targets around them, and having specific objectives within these phases, then what happens is he just ends up in this like no man's land where he's spinning his tires, not making any meaningful progress, because he'll end up like just kind of cutting, kind of bulking, but not really doing either one, right? What that technically looks like is a very common thing that a lot of dudes fall into, is They'll end up like fueling their workouts, needing more food and eating generally healthy, which is great. But then they feel fat one day or they feel too fluffy, and then they pull back on food, and then they're like kind of cutting, kind of in a deficit for a few days or a few weeks. And then they'll feel small and skinny and weak in the gym, and then they eat a bunch more food. And they end up just flipping back and forth between that for months or years and not make any meaningful progress on their physique at all. So here's how I like to think about it. This is the analogy, okay? A lot of people end up chasing way too many chickens. If you're chasing too many chickens, you probably won't catch any of them, or at least not very effectively or efficiently. But if you become hyper-focused and you chase one chicken at a time, you will way more than likely end up catching more chickens over the long term, right? And most people are very unfocused with this. So they end up just not making any meaningful progress because they flip back and forth depending on how they feel constantly. And that shows up in the analogy with just chasing too many chickens, right? So what you want to do is you want to get hyper-focused, laser-focused on one chicken, chase it, go get it, and then go after the next one. And you do that over months and over years, and before you know it, you're like, I got 30 chickens. It's a way better way to do it. And this is what I help my clients do. They don't really have to think about it. I handle that for them. But it's a way better way to do it so you actually make progress.